Hi, my loyal animal divas. My name is Marie Paul, and today we will be learning about axolotls. Now, axolotls are very strange but interesting creatures. They are purely aquatic, which is rare for a salamander. Now, salamanders are not reptiles. Salamanders are amphibians. But people can confuse them for reptiles because they're within the same family. But they're not. They're not reptiles. Anyway, most salamanders start in the water and eventually morph onto land. Axolotls are a little different. They don't morph onto land like normal salamanders. They stay in the water their entire life. And there has been rare instances when an axolotl would morph and go onto land. But even if they did do that, it would actually be bad for them, and they wouldn't live very long after that. But most don't, so don't worry. If you were to keep one, I would recommend getting a 20-gallon tank for them, because that's what I keep mine in, and he is perfectly fine. They get about a foot long, so it's a good size for him. Anyway, for the substrate, I would recommend a very, very fine aquarium sand. Like, super fine. Because the main killer with these guys is impaction. They can eat too much of the sand and get impacted to the point where they can't eat, and then it just kills them. So, but if you get the very fine sand, then that won't happen because it'll just pass right through. If he does happen to ingest some, which mine does on a regular basis. He eats sand on a regular basis, so I'm glad I got the fine sand. He just, like if I forget to feed him, like, in the morning, he'll just, like, take a clump of sand, and you'll see it immediately pass through. I'm just like, why do you do that to yourself? But anyway, I feed mine worms. Earthworms have the most nutrition. Earthworms have the most nutrition for axolotls. You can also feed them bloodworms, but they don't get any nutritional value from that. So I would recommend them only as a treat. Hush. Sorry, my dog's whining for no reason. Oh, he's coming to say hi. Say hi. That's my dog Max. He's a sweetheart. Anyway, let me go show you my axolotl so you can know what I'm talking about. Sorry about the lighting for a second there. Anyway, let me see if I can get it to where you can see him. Oh, there he is. This is my axolotl. Now, not all axolotls look like this. Oh, he sees you. Hey, buddy. Okay. Not all axolotls look like that, because they have different color morphs, and some can be white with pink gills, some can be, completely black like mine is, some can be wild colored, where they're mostly black, but have some different colored spots on them. There's a lot of different variations. But anyway, mine's completely black. His name is Cooper. I've had him for about 2 months now, and he's doing pretty well. Despite not having worms for 3 days, he still looks fine. I don't know why. People think you need to feed them every day, because, like, he's gone 3 days without food, and obviously he's still pretty chunky, so I wouldn't even worry about it. That's another good thing about axolotls. They can go a while without food. Unlike other animals like dogs and cats that need to be fed every day, axolotls, they can go 3 or 4 days without food and not lose any weight because of it. I can prove that because my axolotl's gone 3 days without a worm and he looks fine. So, and I'm sorry about the dirtiness of the tank. I'm trying to get a new siphon for it. But until that comes in, it's gonna have to stay like that. So, let me show you the tank. See, that's the tank right there. And there's little Cooper. See how chunky he still is after 3 days of no food? He is a chunky monkey. Yes, he is. Okay. So yeah. I'm sorry about that, but I can't really do anything until the siphon comes in, so. Anyway, I bet you're wondering what that black thing on the top of the tank was, if you saw it. It's a fan that I use to keep the water cool, at a good temperature, because axolotls need very cold water. They cannot stand water above 70 degrees. If it's above 70 degrees, they could actually die. So, I keep mine at a crisp and cool 64.9. It's 64.9, 64.8, roughly. So that's fine for them, as long as it doesn't get above 70. So, anyway, I love that fan. It's saved his life so many times. Anyway, I use a whisper filter for the tank, and I use these cartridges. BioBag, large cartridges, because they're pretty easy. You just change it like once a month. Anyway, axolotls are pretty nifty healers. They can heal parts of their body that no other animal can. They can regrow parts of their brain. They can regrow all of their limbs. They can regrow their tail, without any assistance, as long as you keep the water clean and cool. I actually have an example of this. My axolotl decided to rip off a part of his tail on Thanksgiving, and now, as you can see, his tail has no damage whatsoever. I mean, there is a slight little nick where that rip was, but other than that, you can see no damage whatsoever. And that was in November. And now he's perfectly healed. And I actually didn't have to do anything for that to happen. He did that all on his own. I was For a minute though, I did think I would have to do like an infection treatment in case to make sure he didn't get an infection during the healing process. But he didn't even need it because it was healed up a week after it happened, and he didn't need it. So I decided to just let it go, and he's fine now. So. Anyway, I bet you're wondering how I can tell that Cooper's a male. Well, when axolotls are halfway grown, or 6 inches or longer, you can tell if it's a male if it has large bumps at the base of its tail. And if it doesn't have large bumps, then it has small bumps or no bumps at all, then it's a female. Mine obviously has large bumps. You can't really see it on my camera because my camera sucks, but he has like big bumps. So. Anyway, I know I say feed him earthworms, which I do. But on the days that he doesn't have earthworms, because I do earthworms like once every other day, because like I said, they don't need to eat very much, I give him these shrimp pellets. He loves these. He will gobble them up. I can give him like 8 and he'll swallow it. Oh, he's reacting to it. He sees it, and he sees it, and he is just like, You want this, don't you? Do you want food? Is that what you want? You want food? Oh yes, he does. Why don't I show you how I feed him? The pellets. Because, like, it's pretty interesting to watch. Just let me get this, set up here where you can see. Okay. I'm just going to take a few pellets here, and we'll feed him. I'm going to open the tank lid so that way get to him. Then we'll just watch him eat. Let's see if I can find him. Ah, there he is. Hey, buddy. You want some food? Oh, yes. He wants food. Don't swim away from me. I have more pellets to give you, buddy. Come here. Come away from the black filter so they can see you better. Come on, buddy. Here we go. There we go. I don't know if you guys could see that. It's probably pretty blurry. I might end up having to edit that out. Anyway, I don't know if you saw it or not, but that basically gives you a glimpse into how I feed him. I hand feed him. Because like axolotls, they can't see very far away from them. It's like they can see like this far away from them, and that's about it. Because if I just drop it in and it goes like this far away, he does nothing, and he's just like, and he just blinks and he doesn't do anything. But if I hand feed him, I can make sure that it gets in his mouth. So anyway, I know today's about axolotls, but I just want to show you my turtles while I'm at it. Okay. Let me see if I can get it to where you guys can see them. Yep, that's my snapper right there. I don't know if you could see that. That's Houdini. And that's my snapper. Houdini. My snapper. My snapper and Houdini. See what I'm talking about? Okay. Anyway, they're both red-eared sliders. They're my favorites. Anyway, let's see. What else could I tell you about axolotls? Oh yes. If scientists weren't researching them and people didn't have an interest in them as pets, they'd be critically endangered. Let me reiterate that. If scientists weren't studying them and humans didn't think they were cute enough to be pets, they would be critically endangered in the wild. Because, well, actually, they are endangered in the wild, but they would be critically endangered if we humans didn't breed them. Because scientists breed them because they want to study them in order to see if humans can unlock the gene that the healing gene that axolotls have, to where we can do that. So that way, if we lose a limb, we can regrow it, and we won't have to do like prosthetics or anything like that. Frankly, I think humans might have that trait, that gene, but we won't know until scientists say it's possible, so let's hope so, I guess. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I know I kind of went a little off topic today, but I hope you still enjoyed it. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of my videos. And go visit my Patreon page. It'll be linked in the description below. Because the animals really need you to help support them. So please go check that out. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.